Seoul, a city of contrasts, where ancient palaces cast long shadows over neon-drenched streets, where K-pop blasts from storefronts while the scent of kimchi wafts from street vendors. This ain't your typical tourist trap. This is a city that hums with life, a place where tradition and modernity collide in a glorious, chaotic mess. Welcome back to Corey Kingston Travel, where we dive deep into the heart of cities and uncover their true essence. Today we're exploring Seoul, South Korea, a city where tradition meets modernity. Forget your Disneyland castles, this is the real deal. Gyeongbokgung Palace, the largest of Seoul's 5 grand palaces, is a sprawling testament to Korea's imperial past. Walk through these massive gates, past meticulously restored buildings, and you can practically hear the echoes of emperors and courtiers. This isn't just a history lesson, it's a journey through time. You'll see the intricate details of Korean architecture, from the sweeping roofs to the vibrant colors that adorn the buildings. Gyeongbokgung Palace is a powerful symbol of Korean resilience, a reminder that this nation has weathered countless storms and emerged stronger. If Gyeongbokgung Palace represents Seoul's past, Hongdae is its beating, bleeding heart. This is where the city's youth culture explodes in a riot of color, music, and art. Think street art that pops off the walls, indie bands blasting their music in cramped clubs, and enough trendy cafes to fuel a caffeine addiction. You'll find students sketching in notebooks, couples sharing steaming bowls of tteokbokki, and a palpable energy that's contagious. Hongdae is a place to get lost in the moment, to soak up the creative energy and maybe even discover your own inner artist. Forget Michelin stars, forget white tablecloths. This is where the real action is, Myeongdong. A chaotic, beautiful mess of sizzling street food stalls, overflowing with aromas that'll make your stomach growl in protest. Spicy tteokbokki glistening with gochujang, skewered meats cooked over charcoal, mandu plump with savory fillings. You want authentic, you want grit, you want a taste of Seoul that'll sear itself into your memory? This is it. Get in there, get messy, and don't be afraid to try something you can't pronounce. Trust me, your taste buds will thank you. A little peace goes a long way, especially in a city that never sleeps. Jogisa Temple, nestled in the heart of Seoul, is a sanctuary. Incense hangs heavy in the air, a calming aroma that washes away the city's frenetic energy. Monks move with a quiet grace, their chants a soothing balm to the soul. Take a moment here, breathe, observe. You don't have to be a Buddhist to appreciate the serenity this place offers. It's a reminder that even in the midst of chaos, there's always a place to find your center. Seoul's a looker, no doubt, but at night, reflected in the Han River, she's a knockout. The cityscape explodes in a symphony of light, skyscrapers transformed into shimmering giants, bridges strung with glittering jewels. As you cruise down the river, the city's energy shifts. The frenetic pace of the day melts away, replaced by a mellow hum. It's a different side of Seoul, a little softer, a little more romantic. So grab a drink, find a spot on the deck, and watch the city unfold before you. Forget K-pop. This is where Korea flexes its cultural muscles, the National Theater. A stage where history whispers and tradition roars. You can practically smell the ghosts of performers past, hear the echoes of centuries-old stories. Tonight, we're not just watching a performance, we're witnessing a living, breathing culture. You don't need to understand the language to feel the power of the drums, the grace of the dancers. It's a visceral experience, a direct line to the soul of Korea. This isn't some stuffy museum piece, it's raw, it's vibrant, it's alive, and it's a reminder that the best way to understand a place is to shut up, sit down, and watch the show. Insadong, a labyrinth of narrow alleys overflowing with art galleries, antique shops, and tea houses that smell of history and jasmine. This is where Seoul's creative heart beats, where tradition and modernity collide in a riot of color and texture. You could spend days getting lost in the maze of shops, haggling over handcrafted ceramics or marveling at the delicate brushstrokes of a traditional painting. But the real soul of Insadong is in its tea houses. Step inside, leave the chaos at the door, and let the world melt away. Sip on a steaming cup of green tea, savor the delicate flavors, and watch the city unfold outside the window. This is Seoul at its most serene. Gangnam. You know the song? Now get ready for the feast. This is where Seoul comes to eat, drink, and be merry. And when it comes to food, nothing says Korea like BBQ. We're talking mountains of sizzling meat, marinated to perfection, cooked right at your table. The air is thick with the scent of garlic, ginger, and sesame oil. It's a carnivore's dream. Grab a pair of chopsticks, throw some bulgogi on the grill, wrap it in lettuce with a dollop of kimchi, and wash it down with a shot of soju. This is communal dining at its finest, a delicious symphony of flavors and textures. This is Gangnam Style. Itaewon, a collision of cultures, a melting pot of neon lights and pulsing rhythms. This ain't your grandma's tea party. This is where Seoul comes to unwind, to let loose, to chase the night away with soju and laughter. Dive into the dimly lit alleys where the aroma of sizzling bulgogi mingles with the scent of cheap beer and desperation. Every doorway, a portal to another world, a different vibe. You'll find expat bars, thumping clubs, and hidden speakeasies whispering promises of a good time. Just remember, what happens in Itaewon stays in Itaewon. After the chaos of the city, a breath of fresh air. Bukchon National Park, granite peaks piercing the sky, ancient temples clinging to the slopes, a tapestry of green woven with winding trails. This is where Seoul comes to breathe, to reconnect with something larger than themselves. Hike through sun-dappled forests, listen to the whisper of the wind through the pines. Find a quiet spot, sit and just be. Let the city fade away, let the silence wash over you. This is Seoul's escape, a reminder that even in the heart of the urban jungle, nature persists. Thanks for joining me on this journey through Seoul. We've explored ancient palaces and bustling markets, sampled sizzling street food, and sipped soju in smoky back alleys. We've seen the city's heartbeat in the neon-lit streets of Itaewon and found peace in the tranquil embrace of Bukchon. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, and share. Every donation, even as small as $1, helps me continue to bring you amazing content. Stay tuned for our next adventure.